Hey guys, this is IXRollOutIX with LEGO Custom Gundam Exia. Now, this is a custom because parts have been glued or cut to make this just as accurate as possible. Before I actually start, how I usually do, I'm going to cover all those, and I cannot stress enough that there will never be instructions for this. This is for me and me only. But it's still freaking awesome. So, the custom pieces include these, which are just glued on each side. This blue part here, which has been cut and glued on. The entire head, which just is a Frankenstein of pieces, with some Sharpie. These yellow vents on these blue pieces here. Both the long and short GN daggers are pretty much the same as the head, just lots of cut up Lego pieces glued together to look as accurate as possible. And the blade part of the GN sword. So, now that I have that covered, let's get on to the Exia. Now, the Exia here is quite a bit different than what you saw in the preview. The differences are these green GN parts. The head has been touched up a little. It has the beam sabers in the back, all of its weaponry, pretty much, and the legs are a lot different. This is pretty much the Deus 001, just in an Exia costume. The frame is almost exactly the same, though the articulation is a little hindered. It still looks awesome, and I love how this turned out, even though I had to cut and glue some pieces to get it there. But really, with a final product like this, I don't care. The reason I built this is because I was going to get the Master Grade model kit of the Exia, but there's a problem. I don't have $50. So until then, this will definitely tide me over. Now, this is obviously the first Exia, not the Repair 2. You can tell by the sword. It doesn't have the green GN parts on it, and it has the GN daggers, as well as 4 beam sabers on the back. 2 right here, and 2 up here. Also, the GN drive is not open. Now, I know a lot of you don't really know much about Gundam, and that's okay. Just watch and enjoy and ignore all of the terms, such as GN drive and all that. Beam saber, beam rifle, who needs those? Just focus on the figure, because I don't want to explain all of it. The accessories it comes with is beam sabers here. They don't have any beams, but they are little skeleton arms. I thought they looked like beam sabers, and they fit where the beam sabers would be, where no other piece would. The beam sabers down here are pretty much locked into place, so it's kind of hard to get them out, because they go in with a snap, like that. So they're pretty much locked into place, not going anywhere. These ones, however, if I ever use any beams or get any beams from anywhere, these are the ones that I'd use, and I do believe these are the ones that the Exia actually uses in the show most often. The Exia daggers, which, like I said, are pretty much just a ton of custom blah glued together. These do fit in the hands. Both of them do, the long and the short ones. So, if you choose, you can display him with those. Well, if I choose, I could display him with those. But overall, he looks pretty cool. Now, whoa, what is this? Go back, rewind. What is this gigantic weapon? Those of you who have never watched Gundam 00 may be thinking this. Those of you who have are probably going, hey, Gian sword, that's awesome. Because this is the awesomeness that is the Gian sword. Probably one of the coolest weapons in mecha history. Okay, maybe that's a little exaggerated, but it is an awesome weapon. It's a shield, a gun, and a sword all in one to make this gigantic weapon. Fred's got this beam rifle here. The beam rifle is pretty weak, but it was like that on the show and in the toy, so, you know, there you go. Not really that accurate to the show, but whatever. That's not the main part of this. It's got this little shield deal here, which, again, doesn't look too accurate, but that's not the main part of this. The main part of this is the sword. This swings forward to make this gigantic sword. And he's ready to slice you up. It's even off camera. How awesome is that? A few problems with this. Well, okay, not a few. One really noticeable problem, though, is that this middle green Gian part here is way too small. I know this. So don't comment below. Oh my god, it's way too small. Let's strip him down from his weapons and take a look at the articulation. Articulation for this guy is pretty much the dais, just a little hindered. Rotation at the wrist, rotation at the elbow, nearly a 180 bend at the elbow, in and out movement. You can get this out just about as far as the dais could. You can rotate the arm. Come on. Not a full 360, but that's alright, because the human arm doesn't do that. It has the ball joint in the waist, much more covered up, much more realistic, because, okay, get this, watch this, okay, this will blow your mind. On the Deus 001, the articulation in this area was abnormal. Oh, yeah, It's got the little movement all over the place in here. It's got in and out movement and forward and back and all that if you move these out of the way. This was a problem on the Deus 001. The front skirts weren't attached to the crotch base, they were attached to the legs. Same diff with this. So to get full articulation of this, you have to move them out of the way for some poses. But if you move the arms out of the way, just for fun, you can get the leg way up there and way over here. Now it is hindered by the pieces that attach the GN daggers, but you know, it's all good. Rotates up here, bends right here. It's 1 point bend. rotates here, and the second point bend, so you can get almost 180 at the leg. The foot goes forward and back, side to side, and has toe movement. So, this is IXRollOutIX with Lego Custom Gundam Exia.